Hello, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. It's Lady Liz, and this is Liz's Wood Creates. And today we are working on the word murky. It is day 4 of Inktober, and that's the word. It'll be fun, I think. I hope you're having a good day, though, and I hope you had a good day yesterday. I recorded a couple videos in one day just to make my life a little bit easier, so that's why I'm wearing the same clothes. But anyway, without further ado, before we get started, if you could please subscribe and leave a little like in the comments, that would really help me. Ring that little bell. I might throw a couple extra videos in here as well for some Halloween fun, and that way you could be notified. And in November, I'm only going to be doing like 2 to 3 times a week, depending on my physical health at the time. So you want to be notified, that would be a good way to do it. So murky, that's going to be fun to draw, I think. I had a couple ideas in my head again, and I just went with the first one. I didn't overthink it, and that's what I've been doing the past few days. Not overthinking it, just looking at the word and just drawing the first thing that comes to my head. So I will see you in the next scene. You could see what I came up with. I'll leave some commentary here and there when I feel necessary, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Let's go to the next scene. Now, let's dive into this murky little drawing, but before we get started, if you could please hit that like button and subscribe. That would really help my algorithm if you leave a little comment too. And I would so much appreciate that. It is a gloomy day today. We get a little bit of June gloom, but in September. So it looks outside like it's supposed to look in this picture, and I'm loving it. Unfortunately, it's not going to stay that way, and when I'm filming this, it might be up into the triple digits. Hopefully not. Hopefully just the upper 90s. But still. Nonetheless, it is a gloomy day in the morning, and I am for it 100%. I thought I would make a zombie coming out of the ground and have it be really overcast in the forest. Make it a little creepy and soupy. It was a perfect day to do that. What's your favorite weather? I like weather like this. It makes me want to curl up with a blanket and a cup of tea and maybe watch something scary. But it did put me in the mood to be able to draw the prompt that I needed to draw for today. And I went with a graveyard scene in the forest. So hopefully it is coming out, I think, the way I originally wanted it to. I just, once again, didn't overthink it. And it's a beautiful, awesome, fall-like day today. It's like I said earlier in the intro, it's not going to stay that way because it's not quite October yet when I'm filming this video. But I'm so for it, and the weather this morning is making me excited about it, and I just can't wait to jump into all these festivities. I decided to put a little owl inside this tree later, kind of poking through and watching you. Woo! And what is that hand going to do? Is it going to grab your ankles and pull you underground with it? Who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. In the town that I went to high school in, across the street was a cemetery. And it was kind of weird because it ran through the middle of the street. Like the street that the school was on, it's split in half. And one half was the street that shared the same name as the high school, and the other side also shared the same name as the high school, but it kind of split open. And then the cemetery was in the middle and a few houses. But it was an old school cemetery from when California first started. Like some of the graves there were from the turn of the century. They weren't all new. And we would take field trips over there to do rubbings of the graves and read little inscriptions that people would put on them back then, like little limericks and stuff like that. They were kind of fun. You see that kind of stuff in the Haunted Mansion. If you read the graves on the outside of the Haunted Mansion, and they could be like silly or funny or making fun of the person or just like a little story or something fun about the person. And I liked that. It was very poetic, like little poems and limericks. I thought that was really cool. But when you walked by it at night, when it was a little foggy out or early in the morning, but mainly middle of the night, it looked really creepy because the gravestones were really old and it reminded me like of the Thriller video. But I loved it. It had a wrought iron fence and the atmosphere around it was very creepy. So I was kind of thinking of that cemetery a little bit when I was drawing this. What would you do if you were walking down the street past the cemetery and you saw that? Would you run? I know sometimes in the movies they'll stand there screaming, watching, and don't run until the body's completely crawling out of the grave. I would just have to see the dirt buckle and run, and it'll probably end up being like a little gopher or something, but I am not sticking around to find out what's coming out of there. But I remember one Halloween outside of our apartment. We lived on the first floor, and it was kind of like woodsy looking. There's trees and stuff. And outside in our garden, we put a hand. I made it out of a old dish. What do you call it? Dish gloves. And I painted it with paper mache, and I made it look all goopy. And then I stuck it in the ground outside the garden in our front yard, and then it got wet, so it started to look a little bit kind of old and crumbly and stuff like that, which added to the effect. And then we made a gravestone out of plaster and stuck it in there, and some kids did come trick-or-treating. We didn't get a whole lot of them in that apartment because it was in a complex and we were further in the back. But we actually got kids there. Where I live now, we don't, because we're upstairs and in the back, and there's not a lot of ways to let people know that we're handing out candy. When I think of a zombie coming out of the ground, it reminds me of the Thriller video. If you're old enough to remember when that first came out, it was scary for its time. I got a little scared at first, but I remember my niece got really scared. But it's still, to this day, one of my favorite music videos to watch. But at the time, I was a big scaredy cat, and I wasn't expecting it, and I stayed up late. I was supposed to be in bed, but nope, I stayed up late and watched the video, and I was like, oh man, I should have just waited until tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Remember, if you have any creepy art, Halloween art, monsters, or just some fun, whimsical and you want to share it in my Discord under Show Me Your Wonderful Weirdness, the link is in my link tree. And if you're an artist, you could go ahead and post there. If not, I will see you tomorrow, where we are going to draw a deer. So have a good one, everybody. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.